done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my way, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humble, yet silence even from good. Here the prophet shows that the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times
Service.
from good speech. So much the more on the Therefore, since the spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it be for good, holy, edifying conversation. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciple's part is to be silent and to listen. And for that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on humility. The first degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as a divine command, and cannot suffer any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation, delay, warmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring. And far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction.
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nebulus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery?
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
Is there anything I could help with?
You know, there is. Perhaps you've heard that Abbot Peter is gravely ill. I'm interested in medicine, and I know there's a cure for the abbot's ailment. With your help, I could find out the details, and together you and I could give old Peter a few more years to do good. What do you say?
You can count on my help. What do you need me to do?
In order to get the recipe for this medicament, a few rules will need to be broken. Now, you know, most of the brothers believe every illness is a message from God, and that it's not our place to deny his will. I, however, think if God sent us not just illnesses, but also the medicine to cure them, then it's our duty to relieve people of their suffering. The cure for Abbot Peter's illness could be contained in one of the books in our library, but it will certainly be amongst the libri prohibited.
Where can I find it?
In the library, there's a large cabinet with a lock on it. The forbidden books are inside. You'll easily recognize what you're looking for. The cover has not only a Latin inscription, but also Saracen letters. Bring it to me, but leave the other books there. No one will notice if one book disappears, but if more were to vanish, someone would certainly begin to look into it.
I'm ready.
One more important thing. There's always someone in the library during the day. To pass unwatched, you'll need to go at night. It's locked, but I'm sure you'll manage to get in. They say Brother Solarius understands locks, but don't tell him why you need it. Once you have, we'll soon have the election of the abbot open.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in... Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget... Talk to me, brother.
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices. What troubles you?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm the provost of this monastery. It's my job to ensure the monks live a humble life and that any surpluses go to the poor. But in reality, I spend all my time making sure my brother's gluttony and the construction of a new church don't swallow up the few resources we have left.
The forbidden books must be in that cabinet.
What is it, brother?
I'm here to work.
You're interested in what's inside?
Good. This is most likely the first time you've ever done this in your life. But it's easier than you think. Just a bit of practice and learning Latin. Here's the original, and here are the blank parchments on which you'll copy what you read in the original. Is that clear? What would you like?
I found this piece of parchment. It looks like it's been ripped out of a book. Do you know what it is?
It appears to be a
page torn out of Ovid.
Ovid? What is that? Is it the name of a book?
Not what, but who? Ovid was a great Roman poet. We have a few volumes by him in the library, but one of them vanished one day. Now I believe I can guess what happened. Brother Eustace, may the earth rest lightly on him, was quite narrow-minded when it came to classical literature. If a book had any mention of woman at all, he condemned it as a heretical work. If he'd had his way, all such books would have been burned. Ovid's The Art of Love must have been such a thorn in his side that he stole it from the library, tore it up, and hid the pages wherever he could.
Oh, would you like me to put the book back together again?
Absolutely. Eustace's wits weren't the sharpest, so I'm sure he didn't destroy any of the pages. I imagine he hid them throughout the monastery. It might take you a while to find them all, but when you do, you can rest assured.
Good. I'll look around for it.
Thank you, brother. It's of no great importance, but if you can find all 10 pages, I'll be...
Peace be with you, brother.
No, no, no. I can't believe you've made so...
What is it, brother?
Get away from my cabinet. The book's stood in there out for your eyes to see. What would you like?
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. But I've no time for idle chat. I transcribe books from dawn till dusk. I've been doing it for years and I'll be doing it till the day I die.
What, you do nothing else?
It is my penance and my blessing. And now, brother, if you don't mind, I'd like to get this page finished.
What would you like?
I'd like to ask you something about them. What are the roles of the various monks here?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. Then there's the prior and the sub-prior, the librarian, the porter, and many others. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the circators. They're the ones who maintain discipline and punish bad behavior.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books. Not now, brother. After Mass.
About the 4th hour. And from the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves to reading. After the 6th hour, having left the table, let them rest on their beds in perfect silence, or if anyone may perhaps want to read, let him read to himself in such a way as not to disturb anyone else. Let none be said rather early, at the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again do what work has to be done until Vespers. Weak or sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness and at the same time not to overburden them or drive them away with excessive toil. Their weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments.
Praise be to Christ, brother.
Intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to
What do you desire,
more
Brother Gregor?
is committed. From him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be
Brother,
one
I've a favour to
better
ask,
in good works,
and I think you're the man to help me with it.
and let him
Or
not
you
shut his
used to
eyes
be,
to the faults of
before you came
offenders,
here.
but
I see,
since
so
he
it's
has
the
authority,
dodgy sort.
let him cut
Well,
off those
yes.
faults by the roots
I need to get
as
hold of the
soon
keys
as
to
they
the
begin
monastery.
to appear.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight
Remembering
off.
Saint Heli,
The
priest
prior
of the
always
Science,
keeps
the
the keys
well-disposed
close
and
by
those of
him.
good understanding,
So how exactly
correct
do you
the
imagine
children
I could help?
the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters, he should curb
Could you
and
take the keys off him?
their ill-doing by
Rob
stripes
the
and
prior?
other bodily
You wouldn't be doing it for free.
knowing
Then
that
what
it is
could you
written,
possibly
"The
pay
fool
me?
is not corrected
I'm
with
done
words."
with my...
How much would you want?
Beat your son
A princely
small,
sum,
and you will
brother.
deliver his soul
This is
from
no
death.
trifling matter.
That much?
The rule of
Where am I supposed to find that much coin?
readings on
No one here has any money.
Precisely.
what the prophet says.
But no groschen, no theft.
I will guard my
And
way
think twice before you ask me that kind of favor again.
God to my mouth. I was mute and was humbled and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to be silent and to listen. For that reason, if anything should be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth.
Peace be with you, brother.
Praise be our Lord Jesus.
God be with you.
These novices, I'd pull those idlers by the ears.
What troubles you?
What have they done to you this time, brother?
They're shirking their responsibilities, leaving us, their superiors, to chase around.
I'd like to ask you-
finishing what they don't.
Did you have to finish someone's weeding in the garden again?
Yet again, I've had
Can
enough
you
of it.
leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You have everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight.
Praise be to our Lord Jesus.
These novices, I'd pull those idlers by the ears.
What have they done to you this time?
Stop, Gregor.
Brother, you were somewhere you shouldn't have been. Don't you know your place? Don't you know where you're permitted to enter and where your presence is forbidden?
Very well, brother. I accept my punishment.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that's not allowed in the monastery. God be with you.
What do you desire, Brother Greg?
I saw you drinking and playing dice in the cellars at night.
So, your eyes are working. Would you like to join us next time?
I'm inclined to report it to the prior.
Who do you think you are, laddie? I've been in this monastery for 10 years, and I won't have some young brat ruining my fun. Who do you think the prior will believe, eh? You or me?
When you put it like that, I won't tell him anything. I wouldn't want to upset you.
You know, we can be good to our...
I'd rather go to bed.
Go, brother, go. Be fresh and alert for tomorrow's work. We'll just drink this down, and then we'll be leaving too.
Gregor, talk.
My name's Gregor, a novice.
You can call me Siskin. Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a...
Did you say purgatory?
You'll see soon enough. Soon enough. What do you desire?
Will you tell me something about yourself?
Look, nothing against you, but I'd prefer not to talk about my past.
Are you hiding something?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost. And I was rich. I've no head for managing the estate.
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I...
That's all I wanted to know.
Please, keep it to yourself.
I'm still curious about this treasure trove.
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read during services. There's no time otherwise. I mean, at other times I don't get to read what I like.
What kind of a book is it?
I found it here in the library. It was on a shelf where it should never have been. It's the Necronomicon. Ghosts, demons, and invocations of powers beyond our world. Only it's written in a strange language that I can't really make sense of. All bara this and bara that. Who knows what it means? I tried to count the syllables, read the words backwards, but nothing.
Oh, I'm not too sure what the prior or the cicada would say about a book like that. Actually, what anyone would say. It sounds quite...
Ah, prejudice.
But you're right, it is prohibited. For no good reason, though. Has knowledge ever done anybody any...
If it wasn't harmful, it would...
That's a rather limited view of the world. Some write about the saints, others about demons. And an educated person should know both. Pity I can't understand. Just please don't tell anyone about the book. If the brothers learn that I took it from the library and hid it, I'll be in a lot of trouble.
I'll leave you be.
Thank you. And please, Greg...
There's something I should tell you. Something you won't be happy to hear. I'm here to find someone and, well, to do away with him. But listen, it's not murder. Not when it's a man like him. He's one of the brigands who burned down Neuhof. He doesn't deserve to live.
What's he doing here? And who are you?
They call him Pius because he used to be a priest. When he found out a lot of people were after him, he hid away here. And as you can see, escapes. They sent me here to find him and bring him to justice. He's one of the novices.
So we have one outlaw and one assassin in our midst. This place is a lot more exciting than I expected. Do you know who it is?
Well, that's just it. It could be Antonius?
Antonius? He's a fine fellow. No, it can't be him. Although, you never know what's hiding beneath.
See how hard it is? It could be anyone, and at the same time, nobody in particular. It could be you.
What on earth makes you think that? My being unfit for holy orders doesn't make me a former assassin.
True enough. I won't tell you more, and I'd like you to keep silent about this too.
You're talking about killing in the monastery. I really should report it.
Listen to me, you worthless shit. You'll be keeping your mouth shut. Otherwise, you can count on me to do away with you first.
I thought better of you, Gregor. You're just a common killer, a wolf in sheep's clothing. Remember, the mills of God grind slowly, yet surely.
This is not a good time for questions, brother.
I'm Gregor, a novice. I saw you at the ceremony.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him at all, except that he's not a stickler for rules.
You really don't know anything about anyone?
Don't get upset. I'm sorry.
In the night, I overheard the cicadas in the cellar. They were talking about you.
Oh no. So it's still not over. This isn't a life in service of God. This is purgatory.
Lucas, what's going on?
What do you think? Just like you, I saw the cicadas drinking and playing hazard as if they were in a broth.
We should report them.
I agree.
I warned them if they didn't stop, I'd go and tell the prior. But instead of mending their ways, they vented their anger on me.
You've picked the wrong people to make enemies of, Lucas, they told me. Now I can't even count how many days and nights I've spent locked up in solitary confinement for the tiniest offenses, or for no offense at all.
Is there something I can do to...
Would you? I think all it might take is for you to go and sit down with them, have a talk, set things straight, then they'd leave me alone.
I'm not afraid of them.
Brother, you have the courage. May the grace of God...
There's something I should tell you. Something secret.
You're looking for someone? But you're a novice, aren't you?
I am a novice. At least until I find the man I'm looking for.
Why would you be looking amongst monks? You know, the laws of man aren't valid here. In the cloister...
Seizing the Neuhoff farm. He's taken many lives.
I heard something about that. But why are you telling me all this?
Because you could help me. It has to be one of the other novices.
That can't be. Have you told the prior? What are you going to do to this man once you find him?
Talk to him. Then I'll see. Do you have any idea which of the novices could be the imposter I'm looking for?
I don't know, and I don't care to know. I wish you'd never told me.
I think that you're the man I'm looking for.
What are you on about? You can't be serious.
I am. Your secretiveness, the fact that you don't want to speak with anyone, that you keep to your...
But you're wrong. You've made a terrible mistake. I'm not the man you're looking for. I'm not.
I'll leave you in peace for the time being.
You're a madman. A dangerous madman. I never want to speak to you again.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath.
as for coarse jests and idle words, or words that move to laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a perpetual ban. And for such conversation we do not permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on the spirit of silence. Let us do what the prophet says. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I have set a guard to my mouth. I was mute and was humbled and kept silence even from good things. Here the prophet shows that if the spirit of silence ought to lead us at times to refrain even from good speech, so much the more ought the punishment for sin make us avoid evil words. Therefore, since this spirit of silence is so important, permission to speak should rarely be granted even to perfect disciples, even though it is good, holy, edifying, and sick. For it is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. Death and life are in the power of the
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
I'm interested in the other novice. Do you know anything about
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray a He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the...
who sees that his heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment...
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Oh, he's always got a smile and a new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
And again at fixed hours in sacred reading. To that end we think that the times for each may be prescribed as follows. From Easter until the calends of October. After applying in the morning, let them labor at whatever is necessary. From the 4th hour until about the 6th, let them apply themselves...
Praise be to Christ.
What would you like?
At the middle of the 8th hour, and let them again...
Will you tell me something about you?
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk.
Sickly brethren should be assigned a task or craft of such a nature as to keep them from idleness, and at the same time not to over...
Very well. I won't ask.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Weakness must be taken into consideration by the abbot.
I'm still curious about...
It's no big terrible secret. Really, it isn't. I just go and read.
This is the virtue.
Actually...
Nothing dearer to them than Christ, who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting, as soon as anything has been ordered